Hey everybody, Chef Beardsley. The weather's really crappy today. It's been crappy ever since I went back to work. So today I replaced the one-way bearing in my original Revo 2.5. I have a 3.3 motor in it, and I'm having an issue from the last time I ran it. It starts out real slow, and then the RPMs go real high. Like until the RPMs get real high, then it'll get up to speed, and then it goes real quick. So I think the issue is it might be stuck in second gear. So I figured I was going to work on it. I'll fill you guys in and do a little video and show you guys. So honestly, the Revo is one of my favorite nitro platforms. This is my first hobby grade RC from when it first came out back in the day. I love it. It's I love the platform, hence why I have a brand new 3.3 over there. Another 2.5 down there, and another 3.3 down there, the original 3.3. But this is, like I said, the original 2.5. It doesn't really have many upgrades. It doesn't really need it. It's got RPM arms, front and rear. I'm not an Intage guy, but I do like their skid plates. So I got the front skid. I have the belly skid here, which it protects the bottom of the transmission with aluminum, and then this skid just goes on the bottom. I did strip out 2 holes, I think these 2, so I only run with 2 screws, but I'm not really worried about it. And other than that, there's really no other upgrades besides the motor, because I just wanted a bigger motor. Other than that, the thing's great. These do snap, so these are just the red ones because that's just what came in stock. I don't really consider that an upgrade, but yeah, so let me set you guys up. We'll take out the transmission, and hopefully that's all it is, because I looked at the motor here, and this is a brand new bell. There's brand new shoes underneath. The motor seems to run fine. I think it is just the transmission is stuck in second gear. So honestly, I have a parts Revo down there, a 2.5 Revo that my buddy gave me, but I'm curious to see why it doesn't work. So hopefully it is just stuck in second gear. So I'll set you guys up, and we'll get this thing apart. Alright guys, so to work on these Revos, it's the same way. I hope the camera angle is good. Let me check. Yeah, it should work. Sorry if you hear humming in the background. I did get an AC unit for the shed, and you guys are gonna have to deal with the humming until I get a better mic, just because I'll die out here. It's super hot out. It is raining, but it gets to like 100 and something degrees in here, so I had to get an AC or I was gonna die. So to work on these things is actually pretty simple. I think it might be more simple for me because I've had it forever, but to take out the tranny, I already disconnected the front drive shaft. So there's a little grub screw you take out in the front. You take out the skid plate for the transmission, and you take out another grub screw for the back drive shaft, and that should be it. Just should be 4 screws, and the tranny comes right out. So let me just make sure the camera angles are good. Like I said, I do want to get a better microphone, especially after I got this AC, but I don't have the funds for that right now. Hopefully soon, but I got other priorities I'm working on. So, and sorry for the lack of videos recently. I got back to work, and where I live, it's I obviously work in the kitchen. We're going back to, we're allowed to have outside dining, and we don't have that set up. So I've been helping out setting up outdoor tables and doing all that stuff. I was running Ethernet cables for the computers that are going to be outside so people could take their orders, helping out trying to get the right permits and all that stuff. So the lack of videos, I'm sorry, but you know, this isn't my full-time job, so you got those priorities, man. So now I'm taking out this back grub screw for the back drive shaft. Transmission's loose. I'm a huge fan of the Revo platform. And no, I am not a TRAXXAS fanboy or anything. I think some of the stuff they do is really shady, but they're one of the few companies that are still making, not just for one, still supporting them part-wise. HPI, trying to find parts is obnoxious. So I'm just, and the Revo I think is a really solid platform. I really had very little issues with a Revo. So now this is your brake linkage right here. I just take out this little screw at the top. Just back that off. If you notice, I put most of my screws back. I can take this apart with my eyes closed pretty much, but you never know. And then I just tighten that back up a little bit. And then you got your your reverse servo connector. Let me see. Sorry if it gets shaky for a second. This is what your reverse servo is hooked up to. So it's gonna pop that off. Let me put you guys back. Make sure you're set up all right at least. So we're gonna pop off this brake connector. Reverse, my bad. And then there is, I still have the Opti drive. Some people take them out. I'm actually a fan of it. I've never had an issue with it ever. I know a lot of people take them out because they stop working. But the way the Opti drive works is you can't accidentally shift this into reverse and destroy your transmission unless it comes to a complete stop. And the most issues that people have, and they think it's the Opti drive itself, is it's not, their motor's not tuned correctly, so the RPMs are too high when they're at a stop, and the gears inside are slowly turning, and this will not allow it. It's like for lack of a better word, lack of a better term, it's like an eye that sees in there. If the gears are moving, it's not going to let you shift and reverse. So I keep it on there. I don't mind it because I let anybody drive my trucks, so I don't want them to destroy them. I don't care if they destroy them jumping them, but accidentally shift and reversed. But we're gonna just take out, there's like 2 little screws here, and that transmission should be out. So I'm gonna set you guys back up. Sorry for all the shaking. I need to get another GoPro eventually also. So let's back out those 2 screws. They are a 2. Yeah, I've even been slacking. Sorry, guy, if you're watching this on the Facebook too. It's just work has been killing me lately. As soon as I got back from vacation, that's when like everything started to change with the lockdown and what's allowed and stuff, which isn't bad. I can't complain. I'm working, but I just can't make videos as often as I would like. And of course, every day I work, it's beautiful, and then every day I'm off, it rains. That's no excuse. I got other things I can do, but so yeah. So let me get a close up. So if you look, there's just like a little circuit board in there that goes in the. There's a little hole in here, and it keeps you from shifting if you're moving. And that's it. Transmission is out. They are 2-speed transmission. So let me get this truck out of the way. I'll set you guys back up and we'll pop it open and see what's going on in there. Alright guys, so I got the transmission out. You guys seen that. I did take off the slipper and the gear and the back plate for that. And before you guys say anything in the comments, this is all brand new because I got rid of all the easy stuff first when this started happening. It's a brand new slipper setup, all that stuff. So I really think it is in the transmission because this is an original Revo. I grenaded the transmission once and it was completely my fault. It wasn't the truck. And that was probably 2012, like around when I first got the truck. So this hasn't been opened since then, so we'll see. One upgrade I I would say it's an upgrade, because if you guys are familiar with these Revos, the way these brakes work, this is like free spinning, and then when you hit your brakes, this servo pulls that, and then it doesn't spin anymore. It grabs it and then it releases. But the way these work is there's no spring in here. I have a spring on there now, but sometimes it wouldn't like come all the way off, so it would always rub a little bit. So what I did was I took a pen spring and I put them in there. I cut a pen spring in half. I literally just took the screws out, put a spring on either side, half of a pen spring, and now if you look, like it actually pops out, like, so it actually disengages. Before, like every once in a while it wouldn't, like if it got super hot they would stick a little, but now with these little pen springs on there, pops right out and it's good to go. And then like it's not so much tension that the servo has trouble doing it, it's just enough to pop them out. So if you guys have one of these, I highly recommend this. And if you have a new 3.3 like I have one over there, I'm going to do this mod to that too. It's a world of difference. Like, and it's a pen spring. Like if you don't have a click pen, go buy one at a dollar store and take the spring out of it. Highly recommend that. Super nice. All right, sorry I've been rambling, but I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so we're gonna take this apart. I did loosen these off camera, so let's reverse these, take these screws out. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. There will be some more videos on my rock crawler soon. I would like to take it out in the woods behind my house, but we like I've been telling you guys, it's been raining like crazy, so my creek behind my house is pretty flooded, so there's really no place to go right now because it's all underwater. So we're gonna have to hold off on that for a little bit, and then should be set. We'll take that out, do a little bit of crawling in the back, stuff like that. DBXL is fixed. I got that part in. What I did was, I don't know if you guys caught that video, I electrical taped the front and back drive shaft so his pin stopped coming out. So push those off to the side. Alright, so let's pop this bad boy open. There's definitely some gear dust in there. Careful, there's a little spacer in there, don't lose that. And I just lost one now. So let's see here. And before you say there's no oil in here, if you look at the top of the box over here, it says do not oil, no oil. And I've never had an issue, except that one time I grenaded it, but like I told you guys, that was completely my fault. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I don't know why. Like I told you guys, there's a little bit of gear dust, but nothing crazy. Nothing like it's missing a tooth or nothing. And it doesn't look like it's in second gear. Because the way this works is when you hit a certain amount, there's like these two things that pop out and it hits the next gear. And I could have swore that was engaged, but it's not. Maybe I'll pop this out, throw a little bit of lube on it. Maybe it was, and then me taking it apart popped it free. Because if you look in here, the way this works is there's a little arm in there, a little metal arm. Sorry if it's not focused. It like pops up and then catches one of these edges, and boom, you're in second gear. It doesn't. It looks actually really in really good shape. And the motor is relatively new. And I think I had that motor in another car. I have so many motors, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that was in another car, and that was fine. Because the way this works is, you see that there's a little screw in there? Like if you're tuning your car and it's not shifting, or it's shifting too soon in a second, you can adjust that, and it puts more tension or less tension on that little arm that pops out. So you can have it shift sooner or later. And I don't think, it looks fine. Honestly, it's blowing my mind. I could have swore, because what can happen is sometimes those little metal pegs right there where this catches and shifts in a second, they'll wear out or they'll break off, and sometimes that metal thing gets stuck up with like a piece of something, and it holds it there, so it's stuck in second gear. And the way it was acting, it seemed like that's what happened, but everything looks really clean, really like good. Let me see if I can pop off this secondary. I don't even know what it's called, honestly. I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology. I just work on them. I don't really know fancy words. That's why in most of my videos, if you notice in my description, I meant to say this and not that, because especially when I'm filming, for some reason I tend to say the wrong part, and that's I'm not saying I'm no expert, but like I'm not that stupid. But yeah, I don't, it seems super fine. And these, honestly, these transmissions are actually pretty nice too, because a lot of people use these in like custom builds they make and stuff for if they're looking for a 2-stage transmission. Especially with reverse, the way this thing reverses, it's honestly one of the best shifting in the reverse cars I have, like nitro wise. Alright guys, let me pause this up, and then I'm gonna see if I can take off this part here, and then see if I can take a look at that. Be right back. Alright guys, so I took off this part that shifts in a second. So how this came apart, it's pretty simple. This slides on like this, and then you line up these holes and you slide this little pin in, and this is just a retainer that holds the pin from coming out. So that's pretty much it, and then this slides on, and that's it. But I am actually surprised that all these bearings in here, for how old they are and how many gallons of fuel went through this truck, I can't tell you. Because this is the same the transmission that went through the 2.5 and the 3.3, and it has to have at least 25 to 30 gallons through, at least. And these bearings feel freaking fine. Like there's no chunk to them. They're smooth. It's weird. I expect at least a bearing to be shot. But the way this works, oh, almost lost the pin. The way this works is once you hit a certain RPM, if I can do it again, this little arm comes up like that. See that? And it catches one of these little metal stops, and it shifts in a second, and that's it. It's a really simple setup, but super effective. And if you look, I don't know if you guys can see it, there's a little ball in there. That's a screw. I assume I'm almost 100% sure there's a screw back there. I mean, there's a spring back there, and if you tighten it, it'll push a little more tension on it. It'll shift a little sooner, and if it's shifting too soon, you back it out. So I think what I'm going to do is put it back together, back this out, because maybe it's shifting immediately. I'm not catching it. I can't hear it. So I'll back it out and then see. And worst comes to worst, I'll just grab the good transmission out of the parts Revo, and I'm good to go. So let me put this together for you. I'm sure I'm going to mess it up because I'm on camera. Yeah, man, these bearings are in really good shape, man. It blows my mind. I expect to at least find a faulty bearing. Yeah, man, those bearings are really good shape. It's crazy. Of course, I can't seat this bearing in now. Why? There it is. These are really good for that handle for my wrench. Now, if I remember correctly, that just went like that, but that wouldn't make enough sense. Let's go this way. I feel like that's too far. I'm missing something. Oh, dude. Of course I am. Told you I messed it up because I'm on camera. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's my pliers. There is a one-way bearing in here. Is this what's shot? That goes on the end. Hold on one second, guys. Alright guys, one last time. I'm an idiot. So I messed up. I found that I missed a pin, and this is supposed to be pinned in. So again, I haven't taken this apart since 2012. Put this pin in, set your shifter, then it goes like this. Boom, and then boom, yes, yes, there's still spacer on there, that's on there, That's on there. That's in there. Then this goes in here. Boom, there we go. Just take your time while you do this stuff. Don't rush like I did. And the explode views help a lot. And when I was about to put the cover on, I was like, crap, I have an extra pin. So I pulled it back apart. I had it right. I had it in the right order. It's just I forgot to put that pin in. So pay attention while you're doing that stuff, because it would have sucked. There we go. Retainer. That's better. Makes more sense now. This, when you're putting this together, the writing on the one-way bearing faces towards where it shifts. That's better. Hell yeah. So now, put this in here. Put this in there. Come on. Don't you miss your home? Go home. There we go. And when you put this cover on, there are spacers, like real little ones. This is the top and this is the top. So I just take these and just put them where they go. I already have the ones where they need to go, except this one. Put this together. There we go. And no extra parts. That's the way to do it. So let me cinch these screws up, put these back in. I'm gonna put the slipper back on, and then I think I'm gonna, next time I run it, adjust the transmission out, because everything seemed fine. I guess I'll show you guys after I cinch these up how I put the slipper on, but then I'm not gonna show you how to put it in the truck. You just do the opposite. Sorry for the hiccups, because like I said, it hasn't come apart since 2012, but we got it back together. We always do. So let me just put these screws in and I'll show you how I put my slipper on. Alright, so the screws are cinched up. So take your little pin, put it through here, like so. You take this guy, line it up with the pin. Man, that thunder's loud, man. That's on there. And then your plate, just line the teeth up with those little cutouts in the plate. Put your spur gear in. Yeah, like I said, these are like brand new too, so I think it's something with the transmission. Boom, that's a new bearing also. So if you look at these, it's going to be really hard to see on camera, but if you guys look at these, there's like a curve to them. They're like a bowl almost. What you want to do is with these two, you want to put the bowl facing each other so it like pops up a little, because if you put them flat like this, that's not how it's meant to be, because then like the curves are going together. It's really hard to see on camera, I'm sorry, but you'll know if you have them in your hands, like they like kind of whoop whoop. So you want to put those two together like that, like bowl facing bowl, like so, a curve up and a curve, so a curve this way and then a curve this way facing each other, and then they go onto the shaft. You can put your nut on. And we take a small Allen, stick it in this hole back here. A little snug. Let's back her up just a little. A little snug. Good. That's it. It's back together. Honestly, even with the little hiccups, it's not long. It's not hard. Take your time. Don't do what I do and like hop ahead and try to put together real quick. Pull up the exploit views from TRAXXAS if you need to. They're super handy. This transmission is the same between the Revo, all model Revos, except the Platinum edition from back in the day, because that doesn't have reverse. But other than that, like, they're pretty simple to work on. Don't be afraid of it. Just take it apart. Do what I did. Take your time. Or don't do what I did. Take your time and just don't rush it, man, and you'll be fine. Sorry for the hiccups. Like I said, I was trying to rush through it and I shouldn't have. Let me see if I can handle this correctly. But I appreciate you guys watching. Let me put this back in the truck. We'll get this out when it's not pouring and thundering and lightning, and see if I when I adjust the shift point, maybe it's shifting too soon and I'm just not catching it, because you can normally hear it go what and then shift, but I'm not hearing that, so it might be engaging way too soon. If not, honestly, worst comes to worst, I'll pull it out of the parts revo and put it in here and start ripping her again, because it's my first one, man. Thing's a legend. I had this thing stuck in a tree, slammed it into cars, and I should honestly look at the diffs. I've never taken a diff apart in this thing, and they've been holding strong. I ran it through water. That tree it was stuck in was at least 30 feet in the air. I beat the snot out of this thing, and honestly, it doesn't owe me a dime. I replaced the servos because they eventually got water in them, because I used to just jump it into water puddles and stuff, and that's it. I did that little spring mod and put RPM arms on it. Oh, once I bent a chassis, but the abuse I was doing to it that day, it was the most minute little bend right where the motor mount goes, right there. It was right here. So my gear mesh would never, it actually cut through one of my air filters, because it was bent just a little bit. So I replaced the chassis, but that was after like 10 years of just straight up abuse, like beating the snot out of it. But alright guys, well, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm Chef Beardsley, obviously. like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon.